Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be talking about some nail polish tools that I absolutely cannot live without. So when I first got into nail polish, I think it was maybe 2015, 2016. I was like on the verge of graduating from college. So yeah, it would have been 2015. And I didn't see it becoming my hobby in the way that it has today. So when I saw a lot of these tools, I started getting into YouTube around that time too, and I would see all these nail YouTubers and they would have all these different tools, and it just seemed like really over the top to me, really unnecessary. Like, why spend money on this when you could just buy more nail polish? And so I didn't really see the point to a lot of these, but these are some tools that the second I got them in my hands, it was like an immediate flip in my mind. I was like, oh my God, how did I live without this? I will never do my nails without this again. And I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I've got six different tools that I just want to show you and let you know like why I changed my mind, what I was thinking beforehand, and all that good stuff. So the first product on my list is actually going to be this mat here. This is the Simply Neat Miracle Mat by Bliss Kiss. Now, I used to just do my nails over paper towel or just directly over the table because, I'm crazy like that. And after enough spills and after enough wasted paper towel, one day I was on the Bliss Kiss website buying some nail oil, which we'll talk about later. And I just threw this in my cart on a whim. I don't even remember why. I used to think they were dumb. I thought they looked stupid. I was just like, why do you need that? But I did throw it in my cart on a whim, which most of these products are really whim products for me. I ended up liking them, luckily, but I just kind of was like, okay, let's try it. And I love this mat. I don't do my nails without it anymore. I have had this one for probably 5 years now. When I moved out of the country for a little bit, this thing came with me because I had to have it. And what I really like about this mat in particular is that it has these 5 little rings at the top that are raised so you can put rhinestones or gems or whatever. I don't usually do that, but I like to use that to mark where I put my nail polish bottles. I set them all up in a line, and when I do my manicure, it's kind of like a ritual for me. And then it's got this black and white stamping squares on the edge that you can test your stamping polishes over, so you don't have to test it over your own nail and ruin the look. And then it has these kind of like, what do you call that? Like a dotted line where you can create decals, and it helps you to measure the size of your nail to know what size decal you need to make. And I've found that to be really helpful since I started making decals. And finally, like the best feature, or one of the best features, I guess, they're all good features, of this mat is the edge has a raised lip. And so if you spill, a little bit of acetone or whatever, it's not going to go running off the mat and onto your table. It's going to stay in the confines of the mat. And let me tell you, that has saved me quite a few times. So I really think that this mat here is a really good investment. I think that anybody who does nails, even semi-frequently, would really benefit from something like this. It just keeps your table clean. And I did clean mine up for this video. All you do, it's made out of silicone. It's really flexible. All you do is you take a, cotton pad, cotton round, whatever, put some acetone on it and just kind of rub it down. And that's it. It's really simple, easy to clean. Mine usually looks way messier than this, but I had to keep it nice for you guys. So number 2 on my list is going to be quick dry drops. When I first started getting into like nails and nail YouTube, the first time I saw somebody talk about quick dry drops, which, honestly doesn't really happen all that frequently, I just thought, what is the point? Like, why? I didn't understand the concept, because I was like, you already have quick dry top coats. Why do you need quick dry drops? Just use a quick dry top coat. But I wasn't big brained enough to think like, oh, put the quick dry drops on the quick dry top coat, and then you're gonna have like super fast drying nails. So this summer, when I was placing an order for National Nail Polish Day on Ulta's website, because they had like a free gift, you had to buy like so much nail polish or like nail product. And I don't like to buy my nail polish from Ulta because you can get it cheaper elsewhere, to be honest. So usually I just get like any kind of like maintenance products and stuff from there. And I decided to, on a whim, again, just throw one of these bottles, the Ella Mila, into my cart. And I tried it, and after that first time, I was hooked. I use it on every single manicure. I can't stop. These are so good. I have already gone through almost the entirety of that first bottle, and I bought a backup pretty soon after because I knew this was something that is always going to be in my collection, and I have never bought a backup for anything, not top coat, not base coat. I usually just buy a new one when it runs out, but for this, I was like, if I don't have this, I'm going to freak out. So I do have also the quick dry drops from Zoya just because I wanted to see like how do others compare on the market. And they're fine. I don't really see a huge difference. The only difference I would say is the Ella and Mila ones. A, they smell really good, and B, they moisturize your cuticles when you drop them in. And I also just like the bottle better. The dropper is also glass, and it looks cuter. I don't know how to describe that. It just looks better. Whereas the Zoya one just looks like a stuck tube of plastic, which is kind of strange to me. But, you know, they work. They work fine. There's no problem with them. I probably will just keep buying the Ella and Mila ones. But, you know, if you want the Zoya ones, they're good too. One thing I will say about the quick dry drops though is they do make your hands feel a little bit, I just got it all over my hands, and they feel really oily. You can wipe it away, it's fine, but if you don't like that texture or that's going to bother you, maybe just stick to the quick dry top coat. So my third item here is going to be this cleanup brush. This is something I bought from Bundle Monster, who is now known as Maniology. But before this one even, I was using, a lot of nail YouTubers were using the e.l.f. concealer brush. They're like $1 a piece, but those were starting to fray so quickly because of how fast I did my nails that I actually just bought this one that is specifically designed for cleaning up your nail polish. At first I just thought, why would you get a cleanup brush? Just be good. Just be good at painting your nails. But you know what? I don't have time to be good at painting my nails. I don't want to worry every time about the perfect stroke, the perfect 3-stroke combo on your nails. So I did end up buying those e.l.f. ones, and once I found out that that was a tool that I really liked, I sprung for the Bundle Monster one. And it's just got a cap over the brush here. You take that off and you've got your actual brush head, and it's got like jewels in it or whatever. I don't really care about that, but some people really like the bling look. That was especially popular back then. And then it also has like a mini stamper on the end, but I've never used it because I prefer clear stampers just so I can see. But yeah, this thing has been through the ringer. I do need a new one. As you can see, it's just looking really gross. Some of the brushes or the bristles are getting a little bit frayed at the end, but it still works really well. And honestly, once I started using a cleanup brush, people ask me, where do you get your nails done? All the time. And when I say, you know, oh, I did them, and then they freak out and they go, those are your nails? So I would say this can up anybody's game. Even if you just suck so bad at applying nail polish, get yourself one of these. You can clean up the edges. No one will ever know. Great tool. So kind of to go along with that, we have the acetone cup here. I used to pour my acetone directly into the lid of the acetone bottle, then take my brush and like dip it in there and then like clean up my nail. But those acetone cup, or the acetone like bottle top, it's plastic, it's like really flimsy, it's easy to knock over, which I have done many times. And also acetone evaporates really quickly when exposed like that. So the whole time, you know, the lid is off and I'm cleaning up my nails, all the acetone from the bottle is just evaporating freely. So I ended up finally, after spilling for like the millionth time a cup of acetone, just buying this little, probably off of AliExpress or something. I think one of those types of websites that takes, you know, 2 months to ship from China to your house. And I got this little acetone cup, and it's just weighted at the bottom. So it's like a lot harder to knock over, although I have knocked it over. So don't think it's impossible. But it's good. It helps me conserve my acetone. It helps to, it helps to conserve the acetone. Doesn't like let it run out, and it's harder to knock over. And so this is just a really nice little staple to have. I've had the same one for ever. I've never like lost this or anything like that. So I use this every single time. Helps me clean up my nails, and also it's just cute. Cute little baby cup. Number 5 is going to be nail oil. So this is something that I'm somebody who doesn't really like oily hands. You know, it's just a gross texture to me. So at first I was really averse just because I heard the word oil and I was like, nope, not for me. We're not doing that. But over time, when my nails just kept breaking every time I hit them on stuff, every time they like bent, they would just immediately snap at the edges. I finally decided to listen to some of the advice of the YouTubers I was watching, and I invested in some nail oil, and I bought it from Bliss Kiss. They're a little bit expensive, but I will say it lasts forever. They say it can go off or like smell bad, but I bought one of their big bottles, and it lasted me for well over a year, and it never smelled different because I put it in the fridge like they suggest in between refills of my pens and stuff like that. And it kept for that long. Actually, I'm down to the last of it. I'll probably have to buy some more soon. But basically, this stuff just creates way more flexibility in your nails. If you hit your nails on something, they're going to bend softly, but they're typically not going to break because they're not so dry that, like, think of a twig. When you step on a twig after the rain, it just kind of bends and creases a little bit. But if you grab a dry twig and you snap or you step on it, it's just going to snap. So that's kind of the similar concept here. The only like bad thing about the nail oil, I would say, is I get it all over my fingertips, and then I'll be like touching documents at work, and there's just big old oily fingerprints on there. So just be aware when you're putting this on to like wipe your fingers off afterwards. And then the other thing too is I used to buy the pens, and they were like those twist up, kind of like lip gloss can come in this format too, but it like twists up, gets on the brush, and you brush it on. And while those are really convenient, they're not necessarily refillable. You know, you can if you're careful, but it's really hard to bust them open and refill them. And after 2 or 3 refills, the pen component is just, it's shot. Like it's really loose. It's hard to put it back together. And then you could also buy like new empty pens and just refill it. But to me, that's a lot of plastic waste, and I am trying to not make so much plastic waste. So I bought just some of these little bottles, and I can easily refill these. You open, oops, this one wasn't open before. So like this little piece here comes off, and you can just refill it, put that stopper back in, and then you're good to go. And I like using the bottle a little bit more because I find that the pens can get really messy. They leak a little bit, at least the ones that I've used. This one hasn't leaked on me yet, so we're just going to keep using this. Last but not least are glass nail files. Now, before I got the glass nail files, I didn't really file my nails at all. And they would grow out, and I'd be like, well, why do they look so wonky? Why do they look so funny compared to all these women I'm watching on YouTube? And then I saw like, oh, they file their nails pretty regularly. And those kind of like oval shaped ones, the really like long oval ones, that I'm talking about, they're really, really gritty. They kind of shred your nail. They don't file them. And so I really hated those. But I saw a couple people recommend the glass nail files. They have a really, really fine grit, but they take off a lot, so you have to be careful. But overall, these are really, really nice files. You just have to, the only thing you have to be careful about is breaking them because they are glass. If you drop them, they're going to shatter. So I like to keep mine in the case because overall, like that kind of dampens the blow if you do drop it. I have 3 of them. I have this one from Twinkled Tea that I keep at home. This is only the second one I ever had to buy from Twinkled Tea. The first one I broke when I was working at a daycare, and that was a disaster. I have one from, I think, OPI. That's in my desk at work. I don't have too much familiarity with that one yet because that one's fairly new. And then I also have this mini Cert Colors one that I got in the advent calendar, and I keep this one in my bag now, so I don't have to. I used to take this one in my bag, bring it home, then put it back in my bag at the end of every day, and it's annoying, it's inconvenient, so I'm glad to have this little one here too. So that's it. Those are the 6 nail tools that I use religiously, every day, every week, nonstop. I've been using them for all of them for at least 5 years now. So I know that these are big staples in my life, in my nail care routine. Are there any tools that you think that I should try, or any tools that you really like that are just like holy grail nail tools? Or are there any of the tools that I mentioned here that you know of, like better versions of? Just let me know in the comments down below. I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.